Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF44 coming at you with another video. Our Lakers got the victory against the Washington Wizards tonight, and I got to admit, man, the stats are not stuck in my head right now for the majority of everybody. I looked at the stats a million times, and then I watched the highlights of the game again after watching fragments of the game, I guess you can say. Um, you know, but that third quarter and the fourth quarter, I got a chance to see a real good chunk of. The first quarter I saw a good chunk of, but that middle part, halftime, all that, yeah, missed a good portion of the second half of the second quarter and the first half of the third quarter. So if that makes any sense, hope you guys are following me. But the highlights told me what I needed to see, and the majority of what I saw was everything I'd want to see from LeBron James. Let me tell you something, man. Watching that game made me feel like LeBron follows me. I swear to you. I feel like I'm losing my mind here because I'm like, it seems like this dude is listening to what I'm saying. Like, first of all, he came out, the first thing he did was shot a three. And you know, I've been saying I hate watching him shoot threes. But that was the only thing that would have otherwise disappointed. He was excellent tonight. He played the game the way it was supposed to be played. Not only did he score the ball at a Hall of Fame level, but he did it within the flow of the basketball game, and he got passes off to his teammates that would allow them opportunities to not only succeed but have confidence in succeeding. It was something about the flow of the game tonight that I really appreciated from the Los Angeles Lakers. We went young for the majority of the game. We played our youngsters, and even though we went small, it didn't hurt us because Washington decided to go small the majority of the time too. I understand they're a tanking team, so I'm not going to question some of the decisions that they made that ultimately led to them losing. I think they were done purposefully. I think they're trying to lose. So it's not something that I want to give too much credence to. This is the first team in a while that I felt we went up against that played into our hands fully. Like, absolutely. What we need teams to do is play really, really small so that we can match up well with you. And that's what Washington did for us tonight. We really appreciate that because he left Kristaps Porzingis out of the fourth quarter for a good portion of that game, left him without any center. I was up here raving about Thomas Bryant and how he would probably have a big game tonight if he played. He didn't play. And, I just felt like, Wes Unseld really helped us a great deal by just simply going small, man. Trying to play Kuzma at the 5. I saw some good stuff out of Daniel Gafford at the 5. But the majority of the time he was, running Rui Hachimura and Kuzma out there. And that's exactly what we want to see. So with that being said, it left the lane open in the fourth quarter for us, and we were able to just keep attacking it. Just keep attacking. THT was phenomenal tonight. He's just getting better and better. His mechanics look great. I saw some stuff out of him tonight. Makes me want to see him in some ISO situations. He looked a little like Joe Johnson out there a couple times. How he had Corey Kispert spent around on one play and then shot the little jumper. I'm like, oh, man, he took that boy straight to the schoolyard, man. And there were just other opportunities where you could really see THT's game is growing. Team was looking for opportunities to find him, and I just felt like he played one of his better games tonight. Malik Monk played with confidence out of this world. He was another one that just seemed to really, really have it tonight. Just everything he did, his jump shot was falling crisp. You know what I mean? His footwork was extra crisp tonight. Just everything was falling. I'm telling you, it felt like the team just really had something clicked for this game, and the matchups helped. You know what I mean? But I felt like, to me, it's hard to gauge certain things when you're so close to it. Obviously, we just watched this game. Obviously, I missed a portion of it, so it's hard for me to really give y'all the best take because it's so fresh. But I can honestly say that was one of my favorite LeBron James performances. Just period. One of my favorite LeBron James performances because he gave me everything I wanted out of him from a perspective of the stuff that I've been talking about in this camera, which is why I was saying I feel like he watches me, or somebody got the message to him or something. Maybe I'm on to something when I say certain things that need to be done. I don't know, but what I've been wanting LeBron James to do is cut back on some of them 3-point shots that don't necessarily have to be taken, and use those opportunities to get those players, the young players, opportunities to score and, run cuts and do different things that ultimately make them better. And that's exactly what I saw the Lakers do tonight. That's exactly what I saw LeBron do tonight. He was extremely intent at the beginning of that fourth quarter on passing up some of those otherwise bad 3-point shots that he takes when he just wants to conserve energy. And he was finding opportunities to dump the ball in to THT, dump the ball in to Malik Monk, getting the ball to Austin Reeves, getting the ball to Wenyen Gabriel. And we kept doing that. We literally kept doing that. And in between those things, LeBron James' jump shot was just pure. Fade away, mid-range, 3-point. Any shot he was trying to take was working. And of course, like I said, the lane was wide open because they was going small. So we were able to just attack their rim. So when you got all those things working out, even though we were still giving up a lot of offensive rebounds, which was what was hurting us, ultimately, mostly everything else was really good. We kept our turnovers down. We only had 7 turnovers tonight, and I think we picked up that 6th turnover at the end of the fourth quarter. So you got to appreciate just how well the Los Angeles Lakers played, not only as it pertains to individual performances, but as a collective unit. They were on a string tonight. They had it. They really had it, and you just love the progression of these young players on a night like this, where coach gave them an opportunity, and they really brought the energy. They've had some serious tests lately, and have lost those games where they've played really hard. So for them to have a game where they play well and get the victory in this fashion at home, especially when we've struggled at home a lot, you got to appreciate a game like this. I don't know what it means. I'm not certain the Lakers don't come out and lay an egg next. Obviously, we got some tough games ahead. But if they play like this, we're going to get one of those games. 2 against Toronto, 1 against Phoenix, another one against the Wizards. We got a Timberwolf game somewhere in there. Somewhere in there, if they play like this tonight, they're going to win one of those games they're not supposed to win. And that's exactly what I'm hopeful to see. The Lakers didn't look like a bad team tonight, man. And for all we talk about, and another reason why I felt the Lakers, that LeBron James may have seen my video or been hearing of what I've been talking about, is because I said something today in the video that he just completely destroyed. I said it doesn't matter if LeBron James goes for 50 tonight. If the Lakers go small, they don't have enough to beat the Wizards. And I knew when I said that, I'm like, that's like a challenge. If a guy like LeBron James hears something like that, he's going to go for 50 and he's going to assure we win, just to prove that I was wrong. And, that's exactly what happened. Now, whether or not he saw my video or not is obviously not something I'm expecting. But what I'm saying is osmosis, something, the message is getting there, because everything I wanted to see, the things that I've been talking about over the last 3 or 4 Laker videos, is just the epitome of what I saw from LeBron James tonight. And given the fact that I've been complaining a lot about those things, to see those things in real time and to see him kind of just give me what I want as a Laker fan, I couldn't be happier, man. Couldn't be happier. I think the only thing that would make me happier is if we were actually a very good team. But since we're not, this is what I want to see every night. We don't have to win. And I make peace with the fact that we don't get a pick at the end of the season. We can make the playoffs, or we can miss the playoffs. That part, I'm not worried about that. I think the part for me is just making sure that we just get the most out of the development of these kids at this stage of this season. There's nothing else to really do. There's nothing we can do, other than that. Everything else we do is counterproductive, like really. If we consider playing vets at this stage, that doesn't help us. You know what I mean? If we consider shutting down Bron and AD to the, and just letting this season go by the wayside, that's not a win. That's not a W for our franchise. It's not a W for LeBron. The only thing that makes everybody win is if we all accept that we're not that great of a team and need to get better. Then from there, it's just about identifying who can help us get better and making them better. And that's exactly what I think the Lakers have done. In this game, we saw what it is that we know we need to do. The players that we needed to see the most of, we're seen. You know, it's the young guys. We threw some Carmelo Anthony in there. You sprinkled in there, but the game was all about Austin Reeves, Malik Monk, THT, Wenyen Gabriel, Stanley Johnson. That was what it was about, and LeBron James. And I assure you, if the Lakers would have had this mentality from the beginning of the season, our record would be upside down from what it is right now. Upside down. Because you would have had that much more out of these players who I think could have played this well much sooner, with the exception of THT, who had a hard start to the season. Austin Reeves has been able to do what he's doing right now probably since week 4. Since he was able to really get his strength under him and really feel his body. Now, we just weren't playing him enough. Stanley Johnson, of course, we got him in, midway through the first half of the season. So obviously he's now acclimated in what we do. Malik Monk has played great all year, but we need to feature these guys. Feature them. They give us a better chance of winning than the stuff we were doing. Avery Bradley at 30 minutes a game, starting Trevor Ariza. The kids give us a better chance to win those basketball games. And the fact that our coach thought otherwise is going to always be something I'll question. It'll always be something I question. So tonight we saw what I think every Laker fan really wants to see, and that's us putting emphasis on these kids while still seeing the best out of LeBron James. And I think LeBron James is starting to understand that. We are a franchise that loves winning, and we want winning stuff. We love champions. But do not ever underestimate the Lakers nation's appreciation for the development of their very own kids. Because what that does is give us a sense of them being our own. The culture of us is all of our old great players who either came here when they were young players and retired here, or guys that were drafted here, are all still in the organization, whether they were great players or players that had back of the bench roles, or even guys who didn't play very much. They're still looked at as Laker family, all the way down to the worst guy. So it means something to us when we draft someone and raise him in our culture. Do you see what I'm saying? So when I speak this way to a guy like LeBron James, it's because I have all that worked into my head. And I feel like if you want to be here and you want to give this fan base what we want, the best alternative to championships every single season is a bunch of kids. I'm telling you, for some reason we love that. I'm telling you. And so work these kids into the best version of themselves that we can get, and then find us the best young talent you can find us, and you'll always have this team in this fan base in your back pocket. It's true, because it's something that we love. It's a vanity factor. It's like a pride thing. We have one of our very own young Laker Cubs grow up and become a great player, and then we can sit up and say he's ours. You know what I mean? That's what everything we've done has been built upon. So that's what we crave. We want that again. We love having superstars that we could pay $200 million a piece to, but I think we appreciate more so when we can have our own kids. The Kuzmas, the Austin Reeves, the Carusos. Those are our guys. No matter where they go in the league, that's ours. B.I., Juju. We look all over the league. Those are our kids. You know what I mean? And we still see them as such. And I don't know if every fan base looks at their rooks that way, but here, that's a big deal. So that's what I saw. I saw the Los Angeles Lakers tonight put an emphasis on letting the youth carry the load. And I do believe that's going to make us a better team. If we make the play-in tournament, it's going to be because THT played great, Austin Reeves played great, Stanley Johnson played great. You see what I'm saying? That's going to be your ticket. So seeing us put an emphasis on that, it gives me hope that we're starting to get it. So all I ask for is hope. Um, I'm trying to figure out if I want to bring up something that I don't think is really productive. You know what I mean? I saw something on the bench tonight that just didn't. I'm pretty sure other people will bring it up. But what I will say is this: I think LeBron James's body language tells everyone everything they need to know about everything they need to know. Like, he gives away so much. And I just understand that Frank Vogel and LeBron James, though they've won a championship, LeBron is just as frustrated with Frank as we are. I'll leave it at that. That's what I see. That I don't know if it's personal or nothing, but he's not embracing this coach like that. He's not. He's not. It's hard too when you see some of the schemes that we've had out there and all that, and some of the mistakes that have been made. I mean, I understand that AD's been missing, and AD's supposed to be a guy, as Stu Lance mentioned, who's supposed to be carrying the franchise. He's supposed to be, taking it from Bron right now, and he just hasn't been healthy enough to even be his best. So I understand that's like 60% of the problem there. But like I always say, there's something to be said for having a coach who can do good things with limited stuff. And when a guy does bad things with limited stuff, it really is a glaring problem. So that's just what I see. And Bron's body language tells me that he's about tired of this era with Frank. So yeah, that's just what I see there. But all in all, it's just the confidence level that I was appreciative of. I think the confidence of everyone on the team tonight was where it needed to be. I think the energy of Kyle Kuzma and KCP made for a good environment. I really do believe them guys coming back home, having a tribute video for all those individuals, and just remembering those times. I think it put a good vibe in Crypto.com arena. And I think, Bron and our team actually fed off of that energy. I really believe that Bron was happy to see those guys, and I think he wanted to drop 50 on their heads. I think he wanted to play well. I think he got enough, wordplay out of everybody who had something to say about the play. And like I said, I don't know if I've heard anyone else make this take, but I just felt like he was trying to make a night about his boy. He was trying to give his boy an opportunity to win the game, and it just didn't work out. And that was that, and he has to fall on that sword because he's the leader, and that was the decision he made. But I think he could have won the game. I think he knew he could have won the game. I think everybody knew he could have won the game. And I just think he wanted to do a solid for his homie, and no good deed goes unpunished. I really do believe that was one of those situations for Bron. But nevertheless, I'm sure it was appreciated, and the team bounced back. I think Bron doing that in some strange way may have brought the chemistry a little closer to the team. I think the team understood that LeBron James tried something that just didn't, you know what I mean? And he fell on the sword for it and didn't say, oh, mellow this, mellow that. He just took it. And I think that's the type of drop in the bucket thing that helps chemistry. It can really help. So I'm running out of time because my phone doesn't allow me much space these days. But I really appreciate the Lakers tonight for a change. Game ball, of course, goes to the great LeBron James for just giving us everything that we asked for here on this channel, continuing to not only do what it is that he does and getting his numbers, but also be intentional on being unselfish and getting the ball to those guys so that they can flourish. That's all I could ever ask for from LeBron James, who is really playing for nothing right now, it seems. But it ain't for nothing if he sees what he's building for next season. And there's a couple of these guys that are going to be here next season. And if you just continue to give them these next 20 games and you give them this opportunity, I promise you their value will be higher. I promise you. Do this, what you did tonight, 18 more times. Whether we win or lose, it will benefit this franchise greatly. And I can't emphasize that enough. Lakers get the victory against the Washington Wizards tonight. Welcome back, Kuz. Welcome back, KCP. Bron drops a 50-piece. NBA champions. We appreciate them all. BDF 44. Peace.